More witnesses testified today for the state of Alaska as prosecutor Adrian Bachman seeks to uphold the conviction of the group of men known as the Fairbanks Four. One of the state's witnesses began her testimony yesterday afternoon.
More than one.
And they were large enough that you could see?
They were visible splat-type stains on those tennis shoes.
Hoffman, who is the girlfriend of Kenny Mayo, testified at length about the night of the Hartman murder. She says during a night of partying at the Mayo household, she witnessed Marvin Roberts come home and engage in a conversation with his uncle. It was after that conversation she testified she accompanied the man to a nearby dumpster where they disposed of a pair of bloody shoes.
Conversation of what I was going by what Kenny said, and assumably that would be the reasons of why we are taking tennis shoes out to a dumpster. And getting rid of them is because of what Martin told his uncle.
But it was the apparent confession to Fairbanks Police Department that took up much of this morning's proceedings. Former Deputy DA Scott Mattern testified about an email string he received that contained a fax from the Department of Corrections in California.
We did more than we were required to do by even asking them to follow up on it.
Mattern, who prosecuted Jason Wallace for the bludgeoning death of Tika Bacote, testified about his 2002 trial.
Bill Holmes and Jason Wallace had made a plan to kill 6 people, including a child, didn't they?
Yes.
Recall that Mr. Wallace then returned back to Ms. Bacote's apartment building where a number of other families lived, and he attempted to set that building on fire. You recall that part of the case?
No, I don't recall that part of the case because he didn't attempt to set the building on fire. He set it on fire.
He says the alleged confession by Holmes wasn't credible in his mind due to the fact that Wallace had previously testified against Holmes in a double murder the duo planned out in order to take over the drug game here in Fairbanks.
It was highly suspect that now Mr. Holmes is accusing Mr. Wallace of something, and the fact that Mr. Wallace testified against Mr. Holmes in a trial.
Wallace, who's been at the center of this post-conviction relief case for the Fairbanks Four as the actual assailant in the 1997 murder of Hartman, is set to take the stand later this week and testify under a grant of immunity. This is Stephanie Woodard reporting.